Alright, what's up yins guys? Time for another video where I talk about the real life Yu-Gi-Oh games that people play. And I sarcastically asked, oh, does anybody play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore? Do they even manufacture the game? Anybody ever watched reruns of the cartoon if they were into anime? Any of the younger people or older people look at anime. But yeah, it's where I sarcastically and metaphorically compare people's real bullshit games they play to Yu-Gi-Oh, because that's what it's really is like. So today's card is called the You Talk Too Much card, and yes, there is a legit way you can say somebody talks too much. And at the same time, I had to remember the old rap song from back in the 80s when rap music used to be good. You had the Fat Boys, you had UTFO, you had all these different groups, Run DMC. There was a rap song that used to say, "You talk too much, cause boy, you never shut up. You talk too much." And there was a rap song too. If any of you guys knew the old school rap, if you could get this far as video now, there was also one back then. I forget who does it. It says, "You got a big mouth, a big mouth, a big mouth," and about running and telling your crew every time. What we do is between you and me. Okay, what you do is between me and you, but you don't need to be go telling your crew, running and telling your crew. But anyway, yeah, that kind of songs kind of popped into my head. But anyway, yeah, the You Talk Too Much card. This is usually done, especially in workplaces. And I don't want to make a long-ass video or telling you any detailed stories and giving you a 3-page story about particular, that I have to describe to you particular people, but both white and black people be doing this shit. One, I worked at actually a glass factory years ago, like in 2006, where there was people that said that. I'll just say this for example. There would be these people that you don't even have to be anywhere near them, and how do they know if you talk too much or not? You know, somebody tells them, or I don't know what they talk about or what they say about you or whatever, but it's almost like there's stories, I don't want to bore you with too many details, that indicate that some of these people that play this card want to control what you say when you're not around them, right? But then when you and somebody are talking or whatever too, they're busy talking about whatever the hell, how they know you talk too much. But anyway, what gets me is these some of these fuckers, different ones, the dudes or even the women that are like cackling bunch of hens, that be saying somebody else talks too much. The ones that be saying that people talk too much are the ones that never fucking shut up the whole all fucking day. I like to want to compare it to the lunchroom, because some people in workplaces have lunch for maybe a half hour or an hour, but it takes place there. And for example, you can be talking to so-and-so who you don't really talk too much, like the other person can be a real motorhead, and you're just listening to him and trying to get a word in edgewise. And maybe somebody don't like what he's saying, and maybe the person you're talking to is pretty cool, and somebody's saying they talk too much, and somebody be criticizing them. You know what I mean? So I'm saying, for example, you don't have to make this video about you. I'm not making this video. It's like about me, no poor me. That you observe this shit. Somebody criticizing that somebody else talks too much, and they never fucking shut up. So you can be in a workplace, that one particular cycle in a workplace, you're working next to this person or this person in this group, and you'll have a one fucker or some dude or some damn dumb bitch that always has something to say and says somebody else talks too much, right? But then you're working not too far from them, and you observe that you can hear their mouth all the way down there, and you're working like damn near a whole freaking rest of the work day, the 4 or 5 hours left depending on overtime. And it was like, and then you go joking with them later in the lunchroom because you heard them, right? And and there's also the scenario, whether it's next to the workplace or let's come back to the lunchroom real quick, and you'll hear them yammering off, like the women, a couple of hens, and then you can be close enough and look at them, whether it's in the lunchroom or during the actual work itself. If you're close enough and jokingly said, well, you don't say it right away, and you say, "Oh, you say so and so talks too much," or you say I talk too much because you're over here and shit that me and so ain't even fucking talking to you. And but then yeah, you say I talk too much, or so and so talking about that they talk too much, and man, for 4 solid fucking hours, you never shut up for 4 fucking hours. They kind of either kind of get mad or just like when you call bullshit on somebody back when you were going to school, they're like a kid saying shut up. Well, you get people workplaces that do that same thing, grown ass woman or grown ass guy. When you call them on the shit, and they're like shut up, or like in school, they give you this dumbass smirk or make these dumbass retarded ass faces, just like when we were in school, and don't answer you or change the subject and totally ignore what you said and just start talking about you, and just like totally ask, that look on their face where it's like they might as well be going like this, la 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 la, I can't hear you, but it's like, what? It's not that you talk too much, really. It's almost like maybe they have a problem with what you're saying, you know what I mean? And I was talking about the scenarios where sometimes you and these people don't hear each other talking, but you're nowhere near them, and it's almost like, well, what people say around each other when they're not around, and you're not going to be paranoid and saying they're talking about you, but everybody in the world has conversations, right? You talk about your experiences and talk about yourself, and then when somebody says you talk too much in a scenario where maybe they weren't around hearing you talk, oh, maybe they're saying some kind of shit that they heard from somebody else, right? And they're like, it doesn't match what they go ahead and run their mouth going saying. The translation could be, for example, they say, you talk too much. The translation can be, oh, will you shut up? You're making a liar out of me and my big mouth gossiping friends, or my group of if they're a woman, my fellow group of cackling hens. You're making a liar out of my fellow cackling hens. I'd appreciate it if you quit having conversations when we're not around that we can't hear because we're already saying this, and then maybe you're talking about your experience or talking about yourself some kind of a way, and then behind the scenes, so and so tells them something different than what they said. You know what I mean? So there's a scenario when it's right in front or within ear's length, so to speak, and it also transpires like when there is nobody at ear's length, and like they'll actually say you talk too much, and they didn't even. The people that say you actually get people that say you talk too much, and there'll be ones where they were never around you in a particular workplace enough. It's like, well, that's like gay people do that in towns. That's a fucking game people play. It's like, anyway, to end this, I'll remind you one more thing too. The ones that blow the trumpet that somebody else talks too much are the same fucking people that they're the ones that never fucking shut up. I mean, they will out-talk you, and just like if you catch ear of them, like you got anyone's. I don't care who the fuck you are watching this. With political level, you're a troll that doesn't fucking like me. You might have been in a room next to somebody who, god damn. But, or you'd have your own family members saying this shit, you know what I mean? It can be your own particular family member, your own mother. Do as I say, not as I do. Other people out there, do as I, rules for me, not for thee. Quit talking any kind of articulate way, because I can't hear what you're really saying. That fucks up my mouth running. That I'm already just go ahead and say what I feel like. Quit being articulate because you're making you're making me into a liar and making me look stupid. I mean, you should just walk around like maybe you're the one that tells you that is the one that oh, they're supposed to be cackling away like saying this or that, bunch of women gossips cackling hens, and they expect you to stand there and I guess maybe not speak at all, put your head down, have no kind of views of any kind, don't talk about your experience, maybe walk around like you're a person with Down syndrome, not making fun of anybody with Down syndrome. I'm just using it as a metaphor. Those kind of people can be taken advantage of and bullied. And well, but I'm making my point is, they want you to walk around like somebody with Down syndrome, head down and no views or anything, and walk and act completely retarded, and like they want you to be like lower than them some kind of damn way, mentally and physically slow and stupid, and they want to act like that they're fucking whatever they are, like highly intellectual and fucking brilliant and shit, and they're and also to add this too, just like talk show people do, and certain corrupt preachers do, and corrupt activists and corrupt like different kind of corrupt activists and the protest group and corrupt different kind of people. They ain't really articulate themselves. Their ability to appear articulate lies heavily or depends heavily on a bunch of people that are willing to dumb themselves down or bring themselves down, you know what I mean? Or whatever do, and but that's it, what it is in a nutshell, you know what I mean? The people that act like that, they're the ones that want to look like they're the most brilliant and articulate or whatever the fuck, and they don't want anybody else in the way or competing with them, and you're not even competing any kind of way, you're just talking about shit that, maybe to somebody else that you're not fucking talking to them, but you can argue a particular person, they don't even have to be a cult leader or a preacher or protest leader or any kind of special interest leader. They could be wannabes or wannabe intellectuals, and then also like to put other people down, and their ability to appear articulate relies very heavily on other people that are willing to dumb themselves down or whatever the hell, and they encourage it. If you want to expand on the scope of such the scope of intentions of different people wherever everybody is at, you know what I mean? And to end this, I remember hearing a audiobook that used to be a cassette that I actually got somewhere from the late Larry King that just said, you can do it badly, but just keep right on talking. Whether you like him or not, he had a couple good things to say, just keep right on talking, and he admitted that he was a screw-up when he first started broadcasting, Not to make no big debate on whether Larry King was any good or not, but that's what I'm saying. I'm just using that. But anyway, it's a little extra information for you, but yeah.